to Jtwes Monday Night Live. Thank you guys. I know some of you down south may not, or down Florida may not be with us tonight, and we're praying for you and hoping everything comes out okay for you. Appreciate everybody in here. I seen that Alvis was in here, Mark and Joey Neal. So I thank y'all for all being here. And
You took my job. I say
What?
that. I say who's here.
oh, I didn't mean to take
He
your.
had my phone a few minutes early, I guess.
I'm just trying to wind down. I left work a little early today, and I had to get this yard mowed, and I got it mowed. Praise the Lord, got it mowed, because it's calling for rain the rest of the week, and we're going to Tennessee this weekend to see Allison and Nikki. And Allison's the one that does these hats and stuff, but more than that, she's not just the ones that does the hats. She's a good friend, and we want to go see them, and I want to film where the hats is made and stuff and show you guys, and I think it'd be fun to do that. But and so yeah, that and changing the oil in my truck, got that changed, and Will had a hole in his tire, and we plugged it, but it didn't. It slowed the air down to a crawl, but it's still leaking just a little bit. So he's gonna have to patch it. That plug's not gonna get it, but it'll hold it up until he gets it patched. Hopefully tomorrow. And so hopefully I think he's wanting to do a video on that truck for you guys. All right, what's going on, Lena? I done said enough. It looks like commercials are over with.
Yeah, commercials are done. We got Brian on.
Why is she up here?
Farm Boy 59.
Hey, Brian.
Timbo's on.
Timbo.
Joey Neal says he hopes that all is safe from the storm if it's where you're at live.
Yeah,
or where you live.
Sorry. I know the Martins are down there, and they're usually on here, right off, and so we're hoping and praying they're fine. And I think they still got quite a bit of corn and stuff.
Yeah.
Gardening, they do a lot of gardening, sell a lot of stuff too.
And I know we have some South Carolina,
Yeah,
Alabama. They're getting all that rain right now, and could be the winds too. So they may not have power.
Nick is probably gonna jump on Nick pretty hard. Nick Blanton.
Yeah. Paul Ford's on.
Hey, Paul.
Good evening. Hoping y'all don't get too much rain with this storm headed your way.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll be okay in the, where we're at here, Paul. We're center of the state, north, just under Danville. I think we'll be fine. It may be a little too much water for the guys down east in North Carolina. I don't know. Of course, that land down there can handle quite a bit. It drains pretty quick, so.
Which we've had so much rain lately.
Yeah.
That's why we're inside tonight too, is because
it was raining just a little bit ago.
Yeah, it just stopped raining, and it was pretty heavy, and the pond is completely full.
Yeah, and the truth be told, guys, I've probably been inside anyway. Man, when I was changing oil in that truck, my goodness, it just so humid.
Yeah.
And
we've been passing around a bit of a family cold too, so.
Yeah, and I got in the truck and went to put it back in the shed. When I was done, I told Lino, I said, I know the AC's not that cold, but it literally felt like a meat locker fan.
That's the kind of weather if I'm wearing my glasses. When I go inside, they fog up, or when I go outside, they fog up. I have to give myself a minute so I can see through my glasses. Let's see. William May is on.
Hey, William May.
And Allison's on.
Hey, Allison.
She says she can't wait to see y'all.
I know. We were just talking about it. I guess she heard us.
And Paul says, good evening from home.
Paul's at home.
I know. First week in a while, I haven't had to Google what town I'm in.
I was going to say, poor Paul, it'd been his luck. He'd had to go down 95 all the way to Florida today.
Right. Maybe that's why he's home.
Yeah.
Maybe they canceled his route. John Briggs is on.
Hey, John Briggs.
And Brian says, just finished turning under the garden spot and cut the peas under.
Oh, Farmall 51 planted some green beans. I was just watching it just a few minutes ago. And I commented on there. I probably should have planted some green beans, but the plans I got, with planting some rye and stuff, it kind of messes with that. But we'll just wait till next year. But I kind of felt like I already planted a couple of rows and had some to can, middle of October or something.
Bowers Brothers Farms on, so that's
That
Nikki.
would be Nikki.
Nikki says, hello, Jtwes family. Looking forward to seeing y'all. And Joey Neal says, we got a lot of rain and wind damage. About 75% of my old field corn I'd planted for cornmeal. So, yeah, he lost some corn.
Oh, sorry to hear about that, Joey.
Yeah. Janice is on.
Hey, Janice.
And Nick Blanton is on. So
Hey, yeah,
he's
Nick.
here.
Yeah, Nick. We were just talking about you, Nick.
Um,
Which Nick's pulled probably 90% of his Jimmy Red, if not all of it. So he may be okay as far as any crop.
yeah. Larry Terrell is on.
Hey, Larry.
Joining from Wentworth.
Over at the big Wentworth.
And Jay Pill is on.
Hey, J. Peel.
Good evening from Downton Abbey land. Hope y'all are all well.
We are.
We are.
We're facing one of those things. Does they get them? No, England doesn't get them.
No, they don't get tropical storm or hurricanes.
Yeah, or tornadoes.
No
Yeah.
tornadoes either.
We're facing some of that North America stuff, J. Peel.
Yeah, the tropics. It's the tropics is coming up to meet us. Adam May says, good evening from Lisa and I.
Hey, Adam A.
Hey, Adam and Lisa. Says, who's the fuzzy panda bear looking kitty?
That's
Prissy.
yeah, that's my mama's cat.
Yeah, when Joey's mom passed away, we took her, and she's Sammy's age. She's 16.
Yeah.
And she's my best behaved cat, because I have 2 orange cats, and they're always getting into something. But Prissy just is an old girl. She likes to be calm. Just pet her.
It's just amazing, though. You know, we're not big vet people, and we have pretty good luck with our animals. They live a long time, and
Well, I mean, and I know I don't take them for everything, but they do they get fixed and rabies shots.
yeah.
So, and Prissy's done good. Like I said, she's an older girl, and she's got a slight limp. Like, I don't know if she's got a little bit of arthritis or something, but she seems very happy.
I give her a little bit of ammonium nitrate. She'll be all right.
No, she's just content. She's a good girl.
A little bit of fertilizer in a bucket.
Paul says, I've got a cold, too, that got passed to me last week.
Yeah, I got last Wednesday night. I left church and I told Leno, I said, golly, Leno, I feel like I got a little scratchy in my nose here. And sure enough,
Well,
it wasn't, it didn't start, it started off as a little tropical depression, but it spun up to about a category 3 cold.
well, that's how Paul's did, because you didn't let me finish.
Oh,
He said one that rhymes with the Mexican adult beverage. Fever finally broke today, was 102 to 103 all weekend.
oh man,
So you know what else is called the beer?
beer.
Yes, you know.
Was he got COVID?
Yes.
Oh, well, you can say COVID.
Well, I didn't know. But yeah, so I mean, and I it's like summer colds are making a roundabout, and maybe it's COVID. Who knows? But
Yeah.
it's just kind of been passed. But
That's
it's been
just
mild.
that's
It's
just
not-
one of those deals. I
Ours
mean,
has
it's
been mild, Paul. I hate you had fever because I know that stinks.
yeah. I think I had a little bit just because I was achy, but
Yeah.
I never checked it. I just don't check it. I mean,
Yeah. I'm really surprised you don't check it. Like you wouldn't want to know the numbers.
it doesn't matter.
I feel like you'd be like, Leno, I'm up a degree.
Ignorance is bliss when it comes to stuff like that.
Orbra's on,
Hey, Orbra.
and Old Red Tractor says, see your pet raccoon is now a cat.
Yeah.
Oh no, she's so much better behaved than Miss. She's a good girl. Johnny Edgerton's on.
Hey, Johnny. Alvis, it tears my nerves up. See all them people with them raccoons on Instagram. I'm bad for watching Instagram reels with only raccoons. I keep going through them.
Yeah, and then once you watch one, that's all it's gonna show.
Well, I'm
you.
fine with
The
that.
algorithms, they're like, oh, this guy likes raccoons.
There's
Bombard him with
There's
it.
some place in Florida. No,
Yeah,
is
it's
it Florida?
Raccoon Island.
Raccoon Island. I'm gonna have to make a trip there.
You should just work there. Like, let's move there.
No, I
You
want.
take people there.
I'm gonna steal a raccoon.
No, you do excursions to the Raccoon Island.
I'm gonna put one on the boat.
Because then we don't have to have one in our house. Because that's a big test. You know, you loved her because you got to come home in the evening and play with her. I had to deal with her all day.
Yeah, I like it. I like them cultivators you got, Alvis. That's gonna come out pretty good. That's gonna work out good. You'd be 2-row cultivating next year.
And Johnny Edgerton's on.
Yes, you said Johnny. What's
Oh.
Johnny's boy's name?
Thomas.
Thomas. Hey,
Because it
Thomas.
says me and Thomas checking in from the shop tonight.
Uh-oh.
So they're watching
Thomas
from
is
the shop.
in the shop.
And Laura's on.
Hey, Laura.
Laura said several tested positive for COVID at work this weekend. So.
I don't even know why they keep testing it. Why? I mean, why? It's just going to keep running around the circle, just like.
Well, and this started with Will. Then he gave it to you, and then you gave it to me, and he gave it to Megan. So Will is the
Yeah.
the ground zero for our
Well,
family
it's just going to
stuff.
keep going around in the circle. I mean, I just quit testing for it.
Elliot Lindsay's on.
Hello, Elliot Lindsay.
He says, "Hey y'all, didn't make it last time. Had to set up to hunt wild hogs. They took out all 20 rows of my sweet corn."
Oh man, Sammy would have loved to have been with you, Elliot. We put him on squirrel guard about 2 weeks ago, and he got what he could, but it wasn't quite enough. They still got my peaches and cream corn, but we'll let him work on it this winter.
Nick says, "I pulled the last corn Tuesday before we went to the beach."
Nick, that's good. And there's some pretty pictures of that beach. That water looked like it was coming in. I told Lino, I said, that ain't the Outer Banks because that water's coming in soft. It was just come rolling in soft.
Yeah, you don't want to be there this weekend.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
right now there's heavy rip tides just because of the storm churning right now.
My poor highway 12 is going to be it's going to get a little sand
Oh
on it.
yeah, definitely. And Nick said, "It looks like my field corn will be okay. I think we're gonna be all right on but they're gonna be right on the edge of the storm."
Yeah, because if I think about it, yeah, Nick, I left Charlotte and I went down. Yeah. That's right here by the tip of my nose, baby. I was scratching
Okay.
my nose right here.
Okay. Well, I was trying to tell you, you don't have to say it in front of everybody. I was just like trying to
I know, but
telepath, like,
you
quit
you
doing
wasn't
that.
telepath. You were like, and it was right here. It's just a little scratch spot. Jeez.
All right, fine. Pick your nose on the live.
I wasn't picking my nose.
Anyway, Martin Farm is on.
Hey, Martin Farm.
It says, "Hey, Joe and Lino, we're safe from hurricane, been out of power for 16 hours. Flash flooding, the garden is destroyed, but got the Jimmy Red pulled Saturday. We're safe and have a generator."
Good. I was gonna say, don't waste your batteries on me now.
I know. I'm glad to hear.
I
Martin.
appreciate you being on. I'm glad to hear you're fine.
And we were just talking about you before the live too. We're trying to think of our viewers who are down there, you know, in the storm. So we're glad you're okay, and hopefully you get power on soon, because I know even though it's stormy weather, it's still hot.
Well, I think it's, the rain potential with this storm is pretty good, but I think the wind is not as bad as it could be.
Right now, it's the flooding that's really bad, and that is a lot of damage, because if it floods your house,
It's pretty early for a storm, though, ain't it?
No. Well, yeah, because I think
Seems
it's
like it
October
is.
or August to November. I think is hurricane season. And we've had such a hot summer. I'm not surprised. Those waters are going to be really warm.
Yeah, I know.
And it's going to churn up a lot. So hopefully this is the worst of it. Brian says, "Hey Joe, I got to use my one bottom plow and was dropping down 5 to 8 inch mark. Love it. Loved it."
And is that a one bottom on the 140? I guess it is. Yeah, I'm sure it would be.
Paul says, "I did 3,000 to 4,000 miles a week all last month. A little downtime to catch up on some YouTube is fine with me. Got to look for the positives." Yeah, that's right, Paul. I mean, sometimes, and also your body is like, no, you need to rest for a little while.
Paul, do you got a sleeper, or you may have told us already and I done forgot, but do you got a sleeper or do you stay at a hotel?
But yeah, that's what I was saying. Like Sunday, I was like, yeah, you need to take a little nap or something just to help kind of rest your body. Because, yeah, you could be all, manly and say, oh, I'm going to work through this cold. But it's just going to make the cold last longer if you don't get some rest.
Speaking of Paul driving a truck, me and Lino noticed a couple times, we got a Dollar General now. It's pretty close to the house down here on 86. And I ain't going to say it's in the middle of nowhere, but it is kind of in the middle of nowhere. But
It is.
it's in the country. But Dollar General's got this mess figured out, man. You know, because of all their stores and stuff. The tractor trailer driver, he backed up to the Dollar General store, and he's got a sleeper on that truck. And I heard him ask the people in the store about where the shower room was, and they had a shower in that Dollar General store. So evidently, that's like they have it on the route as okay. The truck will stop here. He'll sleep here, shower here, and then he'll go to the rest of the stores the next day.
Like that's their starting point for the day.
Well, it's ending point, starting point, but it's they've got their stores set up for their trucks to stay there all night.
And Brian says, yes, sir, and video is coming of that.
Oh, cool
barn
deal.
plow. So, yeah, and if you all want to see that video, it's Farm Boy 59 on YouTube. If you want to see his tractor and his plow. He says, we're pulling out Saturday morning and heading to Ocean Lakes, and they've already sent us a storm notification. Yeah, you might be okay, Brian.
Brian, I didn't know you had a RV. I knew
does.
his daughter had an RV, but I didn't know he had one.
There's also a bunch of those little trailers. Because I had friends who would stay at Ocean Lakes and they don't have a camper.
Yeah, he may have one.
I think they have a lot more little trailers than what we're used to at where we stay. But just please watch out for riptides.
Yeah, well, by Saturday it should be past Myrtle Beach on.
I know, but the waters are going to take a little bit to
take a
calm
day or
down.
That'd be good for Brian and to mix that bacteria up down there at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, it might.
It breaks some fresh water in.
It'll refresh the water. Mark Young says, I picked up a 194 plow for my 140 last week.
Oh, man.
It needs a little work, but it's pretty good shape.
And that's Mark who?
Young.
Mark Young did that? Okay.
And Paul says he's got a sleeper.
Okay, Paul's got a sleeper. He got an RV. He got an RV truck.
Yeah, Brian says my daughter sold her RV.
Oh, cool, good.
And he don't have one yet.
Brian doesn't have one yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
And Janice asks, do y'all have any headache and coughing?
No, not really.
I mean, I have a headache, but I get a headache over everything, so it could be cold or just normal. I mean, I get headaches like when it's real humid. And it's not because of a cold. So.
Yeah, I try to hardly ever, Lena, I tell you, take anything. And so
Look how she's sitting on me.
Yeah, I see her. And when I do take something, it really helps. So, like, I took some ibuprofen a few times, and it worked pretty good.
Well, and if you see her down here getting our feet, she's got a foot fetish. She loves to rub on your feet, but then she gets out of control and she'll try to, like, play with your feet, and it scares me because she's going to scratch me.
I'm going to bust her off there.
So, but she comes and always wants you to, because when I'm working during the day in my office, I'll feel her at my feet, so I just rub her with my feet because she knows, she's so good, she knows not to bother me while I'm working, but I'll rub her with my feet. Timbo says, when you see a Dollar General bag blowing down the road, it's dropping seeds for more stores. And that's true.
They're not that bad, you know. I guess
I love it.
10 years ago, I didn't think much about them, but now, like the Dollar General down here, I mean, it's got some produce and some milk and a little bit of freezer stuff. Now, I wouldn't go down there and buy meat, but they do have it. It's just little frozen things of it.
Yeah, they have some ground beef and stuff, which I haven't bought that, but it's nice to go there and get milk and get like lettuce if I wanted lettuce. So it's 6 minutes from our house, and that's if I like do 60 from the driveway all the way there. So 6 to 10 minutes, and the nearest food line is like 25 minutes.
If Sammy's driving, it's 7 minutes of weaving.
Don't say that. Sammy is still working on his permit.
It's 7 minutes it is.
He's got his license. He's going to get his license in, I think, 3 weeks, but he's doing really good. I think he's doing good. Paul says it's no RV, but it does at least have a bed and a refrigerator in it.
That's good, Paul.
J. Pill says we sometimes get some of your ex-hurricanes passing close by, but nothing too bad.
Or ex-hurricane. Yeah, it was a couple years ago.
Like a depression.
I know, but it was a couple years ago. One of them went all the way, almost to. I can't remember what year it was, but I remember seeing it.
Adam May wants to know, when's the next mission trip? Truly enjoyed the videos when you were pouring the foundation of the church. Truly enjoyed watching people serve the Lord.
Adam, I would love to go this fall. Preacher would like to go and pour a floor, those columns that we left, to get them ready for a floor, for a first level floor there. And but I'm out of vacation for this year and stuff, so I don't think I'll get to go back this year. But yeah, I'd like to go back myself. I wouldn't mind going to Alaska again.
Bart's on, Nathan Almond.
Hey, Bart.
Says, hey, y'all, LOL, we've got 4 in our county. $4 Generals.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, there's probably, like, Alamance County, I bet they have 20, because that's a more populated county. And there was the old CVS.
Bart's got a good Hardee's.
Yeah.
It's an old school Hardee's.
Well,
It's still got the glass thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like that breakfast place we went to, too. Well, I don't know the name of that.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
It was good, though.
Yeah.
What was I saying? You interrupted me. Oh, yeah. CVS closed. Our nearest drugstore
Are you
closed.
still on that?
Well, I'm just
My
saying,
goodness.
There's Dollar Generals everywhere, and there's no Walgreens or CVS anymore near us. We have to go drive a minimum of 30 minutes to go to a drugstore. When Dollar General took the old CVS building, and Walgreens should have took it.
Would you be surprised if I told you the Walgreens in Mebane is closer than the one in Hall River?
Oh yeah, it is. I forget about the one in Mebane though, honestly, because you don't go by it on the bypass, so I forget about it. Mark Young wants to know, where is Uncle Sam Jones tonight?
Oh, I don't know. He's somewhere around here. He's probably playing
his game.
He's probably playing that farm simulator game, man.
Yeah, it's not in here anymore.
He asked me all kinds of questions about that thing all the time. Should I get this tractor? Should I get that tractor?
William May says, the closest Dollar General to me is in Eli Whitney.
Eli Whitney.
And Nikki says, you can have Sam practice driving to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, Nikki. I'm just trying to get him used to his path to school. I noticed with the older boys, they got a lot more confident and comfortable driving once they started driving themselves to school every day. Because it's just from here to Yanceyville, and it's like 20, 25 minutes. And it's, driving the same path every day gets them real used to the vehicle, and they start being more comfortable. So I think after he starts driving to school for a while, he'll be more comfortable. I know I probably drive worse if you were watching me. If I'm by myself, it's nothing. But if I have people in the car with me, I always end up like running over a curb or something.
I drive perfect because...
Oh, of course.
No, let me explain myself. I drive 100% perfect because I have a helper in the vehicle with me that tells me when I need to stop, when I need to slow down, when there's a car.
That's enough.
When there's a car braking.
I'm sure none of the other husbands can relate. So just be quiet.
But the thing about my helper is, he'll never spot for me when I
do
need.
too.
No,
I do all the
you don't
time.
spot for me on the interstate.
Oh, well, no, because cars are going so fast. I can tell you it's clear, and by the time you get over, there's a car on your right side because they're driving 100. So, yeah, on the interstate, you're on your own. I'm just there. I'm just there for the ride. Bart says we went to Inwood. That was it. Inwood Restaurant.
Oh, okay.
The one I liked, I told you, in
Cool.
Orange County. Or Orange, Virginia, excuse me. Brian says, if the weather gets too bad, we might head to Tennessee.
Brian, I really think you'll be okay because it's hard to find a route, a suggested route that the hurricane's going to take. And of all places, I looked at Google Maps, and you type in the name of the hurricane on Google Maps, and it shows you where it's going to be or the projected route. And I'm like, I want to start going to Google Maps when I want to see the projection of a hurricane, because you go to weather.com and they got so much other stuff, you can't find anything on the hurricane. I mean, you can find stuff on the hurricane, but not a route or not a cone,
Mm-hmm. Paul says farm sim is just like real life. The answer to should I get a tractor is yes. I know. That's what I'm worried about. Sam's like, oh, Dad, you need this or you need that. And then Sam thinks he knows how to automatically operate it and drive it because of the game. So I don't want him cooking up some ideas. Mark Young says, there's a Dollar General in Madison where the warehouse was where I sold tobacco.
Yeah. Me and Lena went to that warehouse. I took her there, Mark.
Oh, yeah. We won't talk about that.
Because I done married the help.
Yeah, don't talk about that. I got out and I said, what is going on here?
They said, man, that dude done married the help.
And that's the funniest thing. Diana took me to a Mary Kay party. And, it's a bunch of women from, like, town and all. And they were, like, had really nice jewelry, makeup on. They're very prim women, prim and proper women. And she took me there. And this is, like, not too long after we got married. And, like, Diana was, like, maybe 16, 17. And you had to say who your guest was and how you know them. And so when it got to her, she said, well, this is Tasha. I guess I know her from the farm. And so then I had to say, and all the lady was like, oh. And then I said, well, I don't work there. And then they all busted out laughing like it relieved the tension when I said, I don't work there.
You should have said, I quit.
Yeah. I married up into, the farmer family.
I figured the best way to get a raise was to marry. Mark, we went to Stoneville. I was just thinking about that. It was the warehouse, but they're right around the corner from each other. They're real close.
Joe Nell says, I can relate, Joey, about the driving help.
Oh, yeah.
And Timbo says, I've got a helper like that. Jay Pill says, we have Poundland here. Because, Poundland.
Poundland.
Yeah, it's like their dollar store.
Oh, Poundland. Oh, that's a pretty good name, though. Poundland.
Poundland. Because, it'd be, like $1, £1, $1.
Yeah.
Chet Hodges is on.
Hey, Chet.
Hey, guys, finally made it. Tropical Storm Debbie started to drop lots of rain for us in South Georgia. Yeah, and Chet, you're one I was worried about, too. Those in the Georgia, Alabama, and especially Florida area, like all that flooding. I was just worried about our viewers there.
For somebody like us, I got trees further enough away from the house, I'd be okay. Our biggest thing would be if we just lost power.
Yeah.
We'd lose, how long would our power be out would be our biggest thing. And it'd just be a matter of me taking the generator and hooking the freezer and the refrigerator up and, we'd be okay.
Yeah.
Although I need to make some sort of plug for the well to be able to run the well.
Water.
Yeah. Which I can always run Daddy's well.
Yeah. Brian says Dollar General has a saying every 5 miles. It really does.
I think they're winning the war over Family Dollar.
They are.
I really believe they are. I went to a Family Dollar the other day and it was just it was junk.
Like even Dollar General has like a lot of name brands.
Yeah.
But Family Dollar has all off brands and the quality isn't very good. But Dollar General, I think it's like almost like a mini Food Lion to me. It's got cheese and milk and bread and all the like cleaning supplies you would need.
Now it's got some no-name brand milk and food.
Oh, Clover Valley.
Yeah, Clover Valley or something.
But
I've never
who
seen
they
it.
use.
Yeah.
It's Clover Value. It's like they're a great value brand, so.
They do have a hard time keeping milk in the store.
Well.
We go a lot of times and it's empty.
Well, and I think it's because all the milk goes bad, like it doesn't get bought up. And so then they have to just wait till the next truck that's expired.
Yeah.
And maybe milk's expiration date is coming quicker.
And I'm sure milk for a store like that, milk is just a draw. Like you got the milk and then they buy something else when they're in there. Like a Babe Ruth.
Mark Young says, I remember Piedmont in Stoneville.
Yeah, that's where it was.
And Brian says, Joey got me a 3-axis gimbal and I'm going to try it out next week. Did I say that right?
A 3-axis gimbal?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I thought about getting one of them if I ever was to do a live stream again like we did at the beach where I was walking and talking live streaming so it would keep the picture totally smooth. But I just, maybe next summer or something, or, we'll do some, what I call some action live streams where we're actually working on tractor or something live out in the shed. We did that one time and it was okay. It was a good live stream, but the video was just shaking up and down.
Paul says, I've driven over 1 million accident-free miles. Still have a helper in the passenger seat of a car, though.
Yeah, Paul.
And Greg Mosier says, hey, Joey and Leno, late to the party, but I made it.
That's okay, Greg.
And Joey Neal says, I fixed me a plug on the side of the house to power it when the electricity goes off.
To power his well,
Yeah.
probably. Yeah, I need to do something like that because I'm pretty sure it's just a 1 horsepower submersible pump, which I can't imagine would be no more than a regular 110. I don't think it's high voltage or anything. Certainly don't think it's nothing that the Honda generator couldn't handle.
Mark Young says, we had a Family Dollar in Walnut Cove, but Dollar General put it out of business.
There you go.
Yeah. And Paul says that Dollar General is for when you need to go to Walmart but don't want to drive into town and deal with the people of Walmart.
Yeah, that's been our biggest thing. We were debating on stopping at Walmart the other day in Burleson, and I told Lena, I said, you know what? Let's just go to Food Line. I can't take it. I can't. I said,
Yeah, and
But I told Will and Ellie. Oh, this has been about 5 years ago. And I told Will and Ellie one day, we were riding by somewhere, and one of them said something about Walmart. And I said, boys, I'm going to tell you something right now. If we're still on this earth and doing the things we do, Walmart will be Sears by the time you're 50 years old. You'll be reading an article somewhere that says the last 3 Walmart stores closed. And it just, because Sears one time, if you'd have told somebody back in 1975 that Sears was going to go out of business, they'd have been like, oh, you crazy.
yeah. Well, and
Sears probably lasted longer. Will probably last. I mean, Sears went up there big time and stayed up there big time for a long time.
Well, and Sears was a lot of like tools and stuff, and then nice clothes like church clothes and
Yeah.
stuff, and then just the demand was low for that kind of stuff. So that might have been like half their business. So it's just that's just.
And
how
at one
things go.
time, their tools and their hand tools and their rakes, their axes, their hoes and stuff like that, best you could buy. Best you could buy.
Martin Farm says, praise God, we got power back 5 minutes ago.
Hey, Martin Farms.
Yeah, that's nice. Yes, turn the air on.
The Lord wants you to be able to charge your phone so you can watch.
Brian says, I got body tracker so you can lock it on the tractor and it will follow you. I hope it works out.
That's cool.
And Jack Graham is on.
Hey, Jack Graham.
You folks looking tip-top tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hope all is well back your way. Sounds like you might get some moisture, hopefully not an overdone. Could sure use some out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, I was just thinking that day, Jack, how it wouldn't hurt for tropical depression would hit somewhere about the top of California and go right across there and put all them fires out.
Yeah, I know. And that's what he's talking about, too. Over 1 million acres burned in Washington and Oregon alone.
Man.
Closest to us is about 20 miles. Has burned over 55,000 acres.
I guess when they burn like that, Jack, I guess they don't burn up the tree. They just burn the foliage up under it, and maybe they burn the whole tree up. I don't know.
Joey Neal says it powers the entire house except the AC. Don't have a big enough generator for that, but it does the refrigerator and freezers and lights.
That's
Sounds like yours, yeah.
well. If I had a plug, I think that Honda would do both the freezer, the refrigerator, and the well pump. I think it would, and maybe say living room lights.
We don't really need lights. We've got the lanterns and stuff.
I think it
I'd
would.
rather
It's a
have
30,
the well working.
3,500. I think it would.
Yeah, it'll run the whole camper.
Yeah, well,
Don't you
yeah.
think?
It'll run, what, the Honda?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll run AC and
The air
all.
conditioner. I can't remember. All I know is Nikki and Allison. It sure didn't keep them warm while
Well,
they were
that's because
here.
they ran out of fuel.
I'm like, can't the generator run their heat too?
They run out of propane.
Yeah. So that maybe I was getting the propane mixed up with the generator. I knew something wasn't working when they were here. Let me find where I was at. Sorry.
That's all right. He's gonna make sure that ours runs out.
I know. Bart says, I'm at the end of the line and I've been out of power several times, 5 to 6 days. So I put in a Generac a few years ago. I'm sure glad to have it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Generac, that's like you don't notice you're not out of power.
That's them bad boys that kick in as soon as it goes off, and they test like one time a month or one time a week.
That's how my work was.
Yeah.
My work had a really good generator. Bart says, yes, sir, Joey, we would never imagine Sears being out of business.
I always liked it. It was one of my favorite stores.
Wheels on. Will says, I want a blue Sears Coleman stove.
I got a blue Sears Coleman stove, son.
He wants it. That's what he's saying.
You can get off my
He's
stove.
He's saying since he can't buy one at Sears anymore, you need to make sure he gets that one.
Yeah.
Will says, our stove. You know how he says that? Sometimes it's so funny. Joe will be talking about his truck, and he'll be talking to Will, and it'll be like a serious conversation. Like, Will, I'm going to change the oil in my truck. You know, if you want to come out there with me. He's like, our truck. He's so funny.
Yeah, we changed it in at night.
Martin Farm says, LOL, amen. And Timbo says, California doesn't have control burns like we do. So maybe they're saying the control burns is what keeps massive burns.
Well,
from
control
happening.
burns do help. I do notice down in Fayetteville and around a lot of military bases, they don't have no problem doing control burns. They do it a lot around military bases.
Mark Moore says, good evening, y'all. Just got done putting up 12 pints of sweet corn.
Woo.
Sure smelled good.
Yeah, I was counting up Leno's sweet corn the other night.
I know, he's so greedy. I mean, and then I'm like, okay, it was just 3 of us, wasn't it? Yesterday, yeah, 3 of us, and I made one quart bag of corn, and he's like, oh, well, is it just us 3? Oh, Sammy don't really like corn.
He don't.
Like corn.
Sammy don't like corn.
And so then I hadn't made Sam's plate yet, and I was going to give him some corn, and Joey said, piling up what's left in his plate. I was like, wait, I was going to give Sam some.
And he didn't eat it.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He's got braces, so he can't eat the corn on the cob, but he'll eat corn that's cut off the cob like we have. Allison says, we'll make sure you're plenty warm this weekend. Oh, yeah. Right. We're not going to get no air conditioning either.
Yeah.
Paul says, the Sears, Arby's, and my parents' house were the only places my grandpa knew how to get to in Raleigh. Getting a roast beef sandwich and looking at tools was always the highlight when he visited. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how a bunch of that generation was, because I remember going to only certain things and getting a certain restaurant. You know, that was their little routine.
Yeah, we stopped at the Pizza Hut.
Manio.
Yeah, Manio has a original Pizza Hut from the 80s. Still the same stuff inside, same roof, whole 9 yards. And it was okay. The building was fine. The pizza was good.
It would have been great if I could have just went back there and made my own pizza, made my own drinks, brought it out, got my own stuff. It would have been good. It's just service is with everything else. They don't have any help.
Yep.
And another table got our pizza and we got theirs. And it was stuffed crust and it was nasty. But so we just ate up to the crust and left the crust. So, you know, it was fine. It was better than being hungry, so we ate it, you know. And
we stopped there just to give Sammy a feel for an 80s pizza.
Right, well, and I was excited, too, because, you know, Pizza Huts were, when I was, you know, a teenager, Pizza Huts were the best place. The red checkered tablecloths, they had Pac-Man and a jukebox that really worked. You know, it was good times.
I'm still partial to my 80s McDonald's.
Yeah.
I miss my 80s McDonald's.
I just don't like McDonald's food.
I love McDonald's.
It's just like, I mean, I'll eat it so I'm not hungry, but it's not something I would choose.
Yeah, McDonald's food is the type you can go buy a bunch of it and put it up on the shelf and keep it for about 10
Right.
years.
You can eat it in 5 weeks and it's fine.
What's that food that you buy, long-term storage food?
Ready to eat meals.
Whatever it is, McDonald's needs to come out with that.
Yeah.
They got cheeseburger, it won't
Yeah,
rot.
like in the Army, they give you those RT. I don't know if they're say RTEs or something, MTEs, maybe MTE meals ready to eat or something.
MREs.
MREs. Thank you. I couldn't think of the. So yeah, McDonald's needs to get in the MRE business. Joey Nell says my dad bought all his woodworking tools from Sears. I still have them and use them. You got several from there.
Yeah.
And remember, one of the boys got you a tool from there.
Well, he's
they
probably-
made sure to get you that one.
Yeah, he's probably talking about like chisels and stuff. They probably had some
Woodworking.
outstanding chisels. Probably had some good standees you could get from Sears.
Yeah, and we had got the boys' school clothes at Sears when Will was like maybe
Yeah.
5 or 6.
And I couldn't afford that. I had to get mine from Rose's.
7 maybe, because Elliot was really little. Elliot was like maybe 3 or 4, and he had this little wrench that he seen, and he wanted it for Joey, so he just put it in the bag because we had already done shopping, and we were walking through to leave the store, and it was through the tool section, and Joey was browsing, and when we got home, Elliot's like, "Oh, I got this for Dad," and it was a little wrench, and we were like, "Oh, he shoplifted this wrench. We're gonna have to take it back." But it was so sweet.
Yeah.
That he's seen that and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that for my dad." Jack Graham says these fires burn so hot, the complete tree burns. One picture showed road guard rail melted.
Yeah, I didn't know, Jack, because here down east, like I said, around those military bases, they'll burn, and it'll burn everything up under the pine tree, but it'll burn the stump around the pine tree, but it doesn't kill the pine tree. So that's the reason why I was wondering. I guess it's a lot more fuel out there.
Craig Cundiff is on.
Craig?
Says, I wish I could travel back to 1975 Sears. I'd buy me a complete set of Kenmore appliances.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Craig, and I mean, I'm not advocating for him, but you can just about do that with a washing machine right now if you get Speed Queen. But it's a certain model of Speed Queen. I don't remember the model, but it's gear transmission, a gear shaft, agitator. You can have the lid open, fill it full of water. You can fill it full of water too, and it'll fill slap up full of water.
I have these hair towels that are thinner and smaller than regular bath towels.
Oh, it'll tear them things up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it did. And so Joey put it on his heavy duty cycle, which I don't use. I just use permanent press for my clothes. But he had threw one of my hair towels in with his clothes, and I got it out, and it was like one single long shred of towel. And I was like,
But it will wash some clothes.
I'm like, yeah, it comes clean because it takes half of the cloth out of it. Shane Jeans is on.
Hey, Shane.
Good evening. Been picking corn, almost done. And Larry Terrell says, my first rifle was a Sears 22 lever action.
A lot of first guns was Sears and Roebucks for sure. I'll guarantee it. And I wonder who made those things for Sears. I mean, I don't think Sears had a gun making part of their company. So somebody probably, I wonder if like Remington made them for them or Stevens.
Probably.
I think Stevens, Daddy got a Stevens shotgun from Sears. I believe.
Tempo says, remember the Mick DLT?
Mick BLT?
D.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I hadn't heard of that either. Greg Mosier says that Sears catalog was a Christmas wish book that when I was much younger person, LOL.
Yeah, I've looked through
Yeah.
quite a many pages of them
Sure.
things. Sure did.
Mark Moore says, I remember in Reedsville, if you wanted a burger, you went to Burger Chef in the 70s.
Burger Chef.
James Rayleigh's on.
Hey, James.
Last week in Alabama, we had 100% humidity. Couldn't burn the trees with the flamethrower.
Lord have mercy.
And Joey Neal says he bought a planer, a joiner, a bandsaw, and a digital readout table saw, which all still works except the 12-inch planer, which he wore out from planing so much lumber from where he built furniture. So all of it still works, except for
So,
one thing that he bought.
so does Joey do it now?
I think he says he still uses it.
I might have something I need you to fix, Joey.
He says, yeah, he still has them and he uses them.
Okay.
Laura says, remember Mom buying us tough skin jeans every year from Sears? LOL.
She bought them from Roses.
Oh, yeah, Laura. It was Roses.
Yeah,
That
it wasn't Sears, it was Roses.
Y'all had to get those Roses clothes.
Tough Skins were a Roses brand.
And that way you wouldn't put holes in them. Is that why
Yeah.
they're called tough skin?
Oh, no, I don't know. I mean, I think they
Stand up on their own?
they were probably some sort of offshoot of Wrangler or something because they had the Tough Skin patch was just like the Wrangler's patch. It was just like the Wranglers here.
Yeah. So it's probably those thick jeans. Those
And
real thick
Roses still
ones.
has Tough Skins.
Oh, do they?
Yep.
Maybe we'll go get Sammy a pair.
I'm going to go get me a pair.
It's back to school. No, you will not either. You might as well, because as he gets older, he gets the weirdest clothes stuff. And even Will's doing it now, too. Will's got this shirt that looks like,
I can't help it that I don't go to Walmart in jogging breeches.
it looks like that ugly shirt from like a few years ago you got, that light blue and tan.
I've seen it. It looked good.
No.
It looked good.
But so then Will goes out and gets one that's a little bit different version, but just as ugly. And then he wore it to church the other night. He's just doing that to get.
He looked
get to
like
me.
a fine young man. Shirt tucked in,
Well, yeah, it's
buttoned
tucked
up,
in.
ready to go.
I know it's tucked in. Mark Moore says Ivor Johnson made some too for Sears and Western Auto.
Who, Johnson?
Ivor Johnson.
Ivor Johnson.
I don't know.
Okay.
Adam May says Montgomery Ward's had guns also. I have my grandfather's Ward's Western Field 12 gauge.
Yeah, I had a BB gun from Western Auto one time.
Brian says Sears guns were Winchesters in the 70s.
Yeah, I figured, because Sears, they did that. They would get the best maker to make stuff like their Coleman stuff. Their Sears lanterns, Sears stoves, their camping stuff was all Coleman stuff.
What is that store you said is there in Haw River that is now a Mexican store? What did that used to be?
That was a Western Auto.
Western Auto.
That's what he's just saying.
Yeah, because your dad took you there when you were little.
Yeah.
Because he said you had surgery on the back of your knee and you wouldn't get up and walk. So he bribed you with a toy at Western Auto.
May have, I don't
so
know.
that you would get up and walk on that knee that you had surgery on.
May
I was
have.
like, what a little brat, even then. Getting his poor dad trying to buy him something. Let me see where I was at. Oh, Joey Neal says, yes, I used them to build a lot of my furniture and kitchen cabinets.
Yep, you're the person I need to talk to, Joey.
Wow, what are you trying to build?
And that's what I'm trying to fix.
What are you trying to fix?
These guys seen it.
Oh, sorry, I didn't watch your video. What is that?
They seen it at the end of the video.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Joey, that little thing I had at the end of the video carrying from the barn.
The wood, is the wood busted on it?
Yeah, it's the wooden seat. It looks like it was put together with several pieces of wood glued together and then shaped out. It's come loose. I got to get that fixed.
So you can't use any like wood glue and put the C-clamp on
Well,
it?
you probably could, but it needs an expert that knows how to put maybe some new biscuits in there and re-glue it and all that good
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah, you probably could. It just needs somebody like Joey who knows how to put biscuits and stuff in there. Or make it just another new one.
Gurney's on.
Hey, Gurney.
I miss Sears and the real Craftsman tools.
I do too. Yeah, the Craftsman tools now, I mean, I shouldn't talk junk about them because they are in the family of Stanley Black & Decker, which is DeWalt and Craftsman and Cub Cadet, all of that. But yeah, they're not quite the same tool. I took something back the other day that I had bought in the 80s. I think it was a breaker bar. And the breaker bar, I didn't get what I got in the 80s, I'll say that.
Cajun Homestead is on.
Cajun Homestead, where's he been?
Sorry I'm late, playing with some new, to me, implements.
That's always fun.
And Sundowner's not on either, and they're from Louisiana. I was worried about some Louisiana people.
So, guys, we went back and forth. I ought not tell y'all this because y'all going to say, I told you. We went back and forth about this groundhog out here. And I took care of the one at the barn, so I took care of that one. I've told y'all that it finally boiled down. I had to take care of it. Well, I didn't get the opportunity to one out here at the garden shed, and we were leaving for church yesterday, and I looked in the shed, and my cub cadet was sitting like this in the middle of the shed. I said, man, I got a flat tire. And so I told Sammy to stop, and I got out and I walked over there, and the cub cadet had done sunk down into a hole in the middle of the shed there that's never had a hole, never had anything. So when I pulled it out today, and it took a little goosing to get it out. I mean, it was deep. And lo and behold, what was under that wheel? A big old groundhog hole about that big around, leading back to up under the shed. And I told Leno, I said, Leno, that is why everybody said,
I told you that you needed to kill it.
do not let that groundhog live under your shed. That is the exact reason why. So, we're going to be on the watch for him.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
What, are you over here playing like tic-tac-toe or something?
No. Cajun Homestead groundhog jambalaya. Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, it's going to be buzzard hog jambalaya.
Yeah.
They need to eat too.
I was just looking for, I had saved a verse for tonight.
Oh, well,
No,
we'll
it's
get
like-
that later on.
Okay. Oh, well, it's coming up on 9:30, so that's what I was asking. Brian says Sears was good, but it wasn't nothing like Linebach Farm machinery when I was a kid and got me a new push-type tractor.
Langbach.
Yeah, when we went to the tractor show, they had a lot of kids' stuff there, like little kids' tractors, like push-pedal tractors and
Yeah.
all, and those were pretty nice. But, when I think back to our kids, I'm like, they'd tear that up in a week. They'd be jumping it. And
Yeah, I had some of those Tonka toys in the shed over here. I don't know if I'll ever try to fix them or not, but I do want to fix the stroller.
James Rayleigh says, I think Winchester made Ted Williams 22s for Sears.
Oh, man.
Don't know who made Ted Williams boat motors.
Well, they always seem to, like I said, Sears back then always seemed to pick the best in that industry to make the Sears whatever. It just, they didn't farm it out to the worst person in the world. They got the best person, best in that industry to make it.
Roger says, run a water hose to the hole and it'll come out when the hole fills. About the groundhog.
Roger, I think this hole, I could see daylight on the other side of it there, so I don't know what type, if it was an entrance, exit, or I don't know what he was doing there, but...
Yeah, because it's not a very big building. It's just about the space of a lawnmower, the width of a lawnmower.
I threw a rock in it and put some dirt over it so I could back the lawnmower back in the shed.
Bart Sexton is on.
Hey, Bart.
I'm late but here, been canning pickles and still at it.
Canning pickles.
And Jamie Lawson is on.
Hey, Jamie.
Hello, Jtwes. Y'all expecting Debbie to stop by your place? It's took me.
No, not...
it's took me 30 minutes to get to the chat. Something going on with the live chat.
Oh, man.
I don't know where are you at, Jamie? But anyways, no, we are going to get rain for a few days. Maybe, what did it say? How many inches? Like 4?
I think it's still going to depend on the path, whether it hooks or... It's so far out.
Our state gets anywhere from 4 to 10 inches of this rain from Debbie, supposedly. We'll see.
I still think it depends on what that thing does. They're trying to stretch a little bit far there with it.
Yeah. Mark Young says Linebach used to be the place to go for all farm implements and parts.
All right.
Grandpa's Farmall Cub came from Linebach's, which I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know.
I wonder who made the early Sears tractor, lawnmower tractors. I wonder if Cub Cadet made them. Because Sears had a brand of little tractors that had plows and disc, and you could garden with them in the 70s. So I'm thinking maybe Cub Cadet made them for them.
I don't know.
Which again,
It could have been a
go-
bigger brand. Like they could have done small time back
They
then.
look like Cub Cadets though. That's the reason why I say that. Somebody will know, trust me, it'll pop up here in a second.
1904 Farm says Montgomery Ward.
Montgomery Ward what?
I don't know. It just says Montgomery Ward. I
Oh.
thought that's who they were
No.
answering your question.
No, Montgomery Ward didn't make them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Montgomery Ward was another Sears. I mean, they would have got
Oh, okay.
stuff made.
well, somebody else said something about it, and that's like where
Yeah.
they got guns, so I wasn't sure. Mark Moore says, I have got 3 groundhogs in 3 weeks. Met one come out the garden with a tomato in his mouth. Oh,
Well,
His
that's the
last
last
meal.
tomato he'll ever pick.
I know. I don't know. I'm such a girl about it.
Guys, my next video, I did a spot check on some sweet potatoes, and I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film.
Are you picking this off?
I didn't.
Yes, you are.
No, I
He's
didn't.
picking the paint off my Yeti.
Well, it's cheap.
No, it is not. These are like $50.
I know, but it's cheap if the paint comes off.
No, it's just old. I've had it for like 10 years.
Well, it's still cheap. It should be on there.
I can't believe you did that.
Well, I did.
All right, sorry.
Um,
Let's get back to our line.
yeah. Oh, I'm not sure how much this week, my goal is before we go to Tennessee is to get the tractor shed rearranged. Several reasons. You guys know I told you I'm go to Michigan and looking at another tractor. And I got to have a place to back in the trailer for sweet potatoes. I'm thinking I better get these things out of the ground. It's no push on them. I mean, it's not like it's too dry or, you know, the push is I don't want them to get too big. I don't want to have a bunch of football-sized sweet potatoes out there because I pulled a plant up the other day and I got one that was bigger than a softball. Now, it only had 2 sweet potatoes, and you guys will see it on the video. It had a little root kind of thing, but the main biggest potato was about as big as a softball. I kind of messed it up with the hoe. I didn't, I hit it with the hoe. I probably should have had a potato bigger, but I didn't. But so I'm worried that which that's fine because I want to get them out and let them cure out for about a month because I'm gonna everybody that comes to plow days, I want y'all to take some sweet potatoes back home with you
we're
because
gonna have an abundance.
I will never eat 6 rolls of sweet potatoes. It's just I would be lucky to eat a half a roll
Yeah.
of sweet potatoes. Really.
Yeah, and I really don't cook them.
I mean, I may can 10 or 20 quarts of it, but no more than that, and that wouldn't take that much to do that.
Yeah. Mark Moore says that one time Sears sold tractors.
Yeah.
Is that what you were talking about?
Well, I know they had this little long tractor that you could mow your yard and you could plow with it, and I'm just wondering if Cub Cadet made that. Will you quit messing with my foot?
Craig Cunder says, I'm pretty sure my old J.C. Higgins Sears shotgun was made by High Standard.
Oh wow.
And 1904 Farm says, I have a few Montgomery Wards with Sears badges on them.
Sears made good shoes too, boots.
Craig says, when and where in Michigan?
Montrose, Labor Day weekend.
And Brian says, y'all have a good night. Be safe on your trip.
Thank you, Brian.
Lamont Powell's on.
Lamont. Hey, Lamont.
I had a 410 bolt action Revelation brand sold by Western Auto. Mama still shoots squirrels with it.
Daddy's got, or I got a double barrel just like that. I think it came from Western Auto.
1904 Farm says Boland's was also sold at Sears.
Bowlings.
And Mark Moore says no, they were big farm tractors, not lawn tractors.
Oh. Well, at one time you could buy a house from Sears.
Jamie Lawson says 59 to 62 Sears riding mowers were made by David Bradley Suburban.
Oh.
Then in 64, they dropped the David Bradley name and added Sears. He says, sorry for the delay. Something's going on with my connection tonight. It's all right, Jamie.
Yeah, that's all right, Jamie.
Yeah, Wednesday, our whole state had like an internet outage. If Spectrum, um, like I know my work,
Well,
it was
wasn't
like almost
all the state. I think
well,
it
was
was.
a lot though.
Yeah, it was a ton.
Yeah.
It was a ton. It did. I think the stuff over here at Megan's comes out of Virginia, where our stuff comes through Raleigh and up the interstate, basically.
Yeah.
It followed the interstate.
Okay, I was gonna say because all of Burlington and Graham was
Yeah.
out. Like it was like thousands of people were
Yeah.
out of internet. In today's world, right now, I'm like, oh no, what's going on? And now I don't have the internet to see what's going on.
Yeah, because you sure can't watch the news and tell what's going on.
Right. Cajun Homestead says David Bradley's two-wheel tractors were Sears. I collect them.
Okay.
And Roger says Sears also sold cars, the Allstate. And they also sold Power King. Sears also sold Power King.
Power King.
So, stop it, Priscilla.
Yeah, they sold housing kits.
Stop it. She's being bad. She's old, but she's still sprightly. She still likes to play every once in a
I'm
while.
gonna hit her in the head with
No,
this
you will not.
Coke bottle.
No, you don't. You will not do that. So do you have a verse or anything?
I don't.
Okay.
Why? Is
Well,
it
it's
8:30?
9:30.
Okay. Well, I wasn't in no
And my
hurry.
voice is going out.
Your voice is going out. Well,
Yes.
let me see it.
Yeah, Mark says my internet went out that evening and didn't come back until 9:30 that night.
Yeah, that's about
Yeah,
when
that's
ours
how
come
ours
back.
was too, because all of us who work from home, excuse me, y'all, all of those who work from home, that we depend on our internet for us to be able to do anything. Do you need my app?
Bart says they have Sears houses and barns in Orange that were
Oh.
Sears houses and stuff.
I'd like to look at one. I'm sure you could look at it on the internet, but
I think they were pretty much kit houses and stuff.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I'd like to see one. I'm sure it's interesting. Did you find the app?
Yeah, it's your daily verse, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if that's the one I had picked out.
Oh.
But if you think it's good, go ahead.
Well, no. I'll read it. Which one you have picked out?
I don't know if that was, that wasn't it.
Well, I'll find one.
Okay. Hang in there for a second. We were unprepared tonight, obviously.
Where'd you get this app at?
Well, and we've been reading our Bible schedule, and we're in Isaiah right now, and the schedule has been pretty quick to go through every day, but in Isaiah, you really get a lot crammed in there, so it's been taking a long time to go through the daily lessons. So I haven't had time to really look at anything else but read from my schedule.
I'll find it.
Okay.
We'll make sure. Hold on. Make sure nobody said anything. Let's see. It marks it. Okay. We're still good. Well, here's good. We'll just pull this one right out
Anything's good from the Bible.
Yep.
You can take it from anywhere. And
Well,
it's all.
Philippians 4. Be careful for nothing. This is chapter 4, verse 6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known unto God. Be careful for nothing. That would go good for today
Yeah.
with the stock market crashing.
Yeah, and kind of to just rely on Him.
Which I say it crashed. I mean, I don't guess it really crashed.
No,
it was
it
just,
didn't.
It
It's
was
just
just
down.
down a thousand
I mean, it's
points,
down
but-
more than it has been in quite a while.
Yeah.
And, my 401k took a little bit of a hit today, but maybe, things
I
will
just think
look
days
back
like
up.
today. I just think days like today is just, to me, it's like somebody's gonna make a lot of money. 'Cause
Yeah.
They're gonna buy some stuff while it's down and then sell it later.
I know, I should have looked to see what I should have bought, make
Yeah.
my money back.
I know a certain billionaire that sold. Today's Monday. Friday he sold all of his Apple stock. and he had $273 billion of cash on hand. So I'm sure tomorrow he'll buy some stuff cheap.
Yeah. Well, I guess if you got that kind of money, you can make that kind of risk. You know, we can't. All right. So everybody's saying good night. I know we all
Yeah,
gotta
good
get up
night, guys.
early.
Thank y'all so much. Video coming out Wednesday, and like I said, I'll try to film some of us getting this shed all squared away. And are you rolling?
Yeah.
Oh, you gonna cut it off for me?
Yeah, I'm
I
not just
thought
leaving.
you was just gonna get up, and I was like,
I'm like,
bye,
good night,
Lena.
guys. I gotta go get my pajamas on.
Thank y'all so much. God bless you. God loves you. We'll see you. Thank y'all.